Welcome back to Mark Haney, igniting the entrepreneurial revolution with the HaneyBiz Project.
Welcome back to the HaneyBiz Project, brought to you courtesy of Hub International and Legion AVS. I'm Mark Haney, and I am here with Jeff Joaquin, co-founder of Marquee Media Solutions. How you doing, Jeff?
I'm fine, Mark. Thanks for the nice introduction.
Well, I appreciate you coming on the show today, and we have a little announcement. We have arranged a partnership whereby we are up here inside Mark Tank, which will now be known as the Marquee Media Studio. Thank you for our alliance, Jeff. I want to tell everybody what you do, but I want to start by saying thank you.
Oh, you're most welcome.
Yeah, so, okay, Marquee Media Solutions. Talk to us about your business, because most people see the big billboards all over town, but they don't really know who and what's behind that.
Well, Marquee Media was co-founded approximately 4 years ago by myself and Michael Wagener. We have a core team of 4 people. Josh and Christian do excellent artwork and all the programming and a lot of back office stuff for us. But we're outdoor advertising media. I don't want to use the word experts. We have a lot of experience in the business, over 30 years of experience now. Stints of managing offices in San Francisco, Chicago, Los Angeles, and Sacramento many years ago.
So your business, though, is actually those billboards on the side of the road. Is that correct?
That is correct. We have 2 at the Folsom Auto Mall and then 9 partnership with the Sacramento Kings.
So when I'm driving down the road, tell me where, okay, so I can picture the ones at the Auto Mall, but where else am I going to see them? What freeways am I on?
Well, we cover all the major freeways in the Sacramento area. We cover I-5 and I Street at the on-ramp, right by Golden One, right by Doco, very important location in the heart of the Rail Yards project. We also have the only billboard out on I-5 near the airport. It's the only billboard you'll see coming, or the first you'll see coming from the airport. We have 2 digital billboards on 99 at Calvine Road near Consumnes River College. We have Highway 50 at the Folsom exit. And then we have Business 80 at Howe Avenue on the Hagen Oaks property.
Wow.
Very exciting stuff.
Yeah, you're everywhere now. Thinking about building a business like this, right? All our entrepreneurial journeys look different. Walk us from the beginning to where you're at now, and maybe the ups and downs along the way.
Well, there are a lot of ups and downs along the way. It was a very fluid process. Sometimes you always look for what's the catalyst that got you started. And for me, it was leaving a big outdoor company in Los Angeles and realizing at my age that I wanted to do something on my own. And when I first left Sacramento in 1993 to run an office in San Francisco and then Chicago and then down to LA, I always wanted to have my own billboard company here in Sacramento many years ago. And then you think, well, it's never possible. It's not going to happen. I'm happy working for a big company and just cashing a paycheck and having everything taken care of for me. And then you get to a certain point in life, and the time is now. And it was the catalyst to move back to Sacramento. I'd known Michael Wagener from about 6 years prior, where we did a joint venture when I created a media department at Westfield, and we built all the signage in the Roseville Galleria. And it was actually Michael that did it when he was at Clear Channel. So I remembered him as a great real estate guy and a great developer. So he was one of the first calls I made. And he was probably thought I was a little crazy, probably like, what are you thinking? This is a big step. You can't compete against the big guys. And it is not easy competing against the big guys for certain. There's a lot of high barriers to entry against with big media companies for a small company to break into. So Michael was the one that got all that going. He got it all going.
What kind of barriers to entry are there on a business like Marquee?
Well, a couple things. Billboards, you cannot build them just any place. So there was an existing billboard. It all started with Folsom, and we really thank our partnership with the Folsom Auto Mall. Michael negotiated a situation for us to buy an old, beat-up, ugly sign that was there that everybody laughed at and made fun of. We tore it down, and we built, we think, a very nice-looking sign. We give back to the city of Folsom with all their messaging. We have advertising for the Folsom Auto Mall. And then we run other stuff for Homemade, the Crocker Museum, and obviously it's all funded by the proceeds that come from selling advertising on the sign. The next part was much more difficult. It was a private RFP process with the Sacramento Kings for essentially what will amount to 12 billboards when it's done, 12 or 13 digital billboards faces. The RFP took about a year. It was a lot of back and forth. A lot of creativity went into it, which we can't really discuss because a lot of it's under a non-disclosure agreement with the Kings, and they are our partner, and we really value working with them. But essentially, a year-long RFP and about a year and a half to build these signs and get them through all the planning, all the engineering, and make it work. And you can't just build a sign on a freeway or anywhere in town. So it wasn't that easy, and it did help put us on the map. It helped really jumpstart our business.
You had to get those first couple contracts, and it sounds like Michael was key. Now, you're here on the show sharing the story. How come Michael didn't come on here? What happened? How'd you get the limelight?
Well, I think sellers are storytellers, or he might say sellers are tellers, and I like to talk a lot. It could be that simple. It could be that he's bashful, but I think he's very prideful and doesn't want to give away any of our trade secrets. Right. And some of them are real simple from a sales and marketing standpoint, but how you facilitate what he was able to do with getting these signs permitted, winning the RFP, it's not easy.
Yeah, there's only so many of these signs to go around, and once you have the lockup, you really are sitting in a good position. But then you have to get somebody to agree to tell their story on the sign, right? Somebody has to advertise on these signs. Talk to us about that piece.
That's very, very correct. So in having over 25 years in the business, I went to all my key contacts and told them what we were doing. At first, they didn't believe, and because they know it's difficult. So they said, "Oh, call me or email me when they're done. Send me pictures when they're done." When Folsom was finally done, we made believers out of people. It was a proof of concept, if you will. Granted, 2 billboards in Sacramento was hard to get the attention of some of the big, car companies and movie studios across the country. They said, well, 2, we'll just buy the big guys. It'll be easier. However, when we won the Sacramento Kings contract, all of a sudden we made believers out of people. It was, I wouldn't say it was necessarily David versus Goliath, but everybody was very surprised we were able to pull that off. And we took a different philosophy. We wanted to be, first to market when we got those done. And our belief was it's not the big that eat the small, it's the fast that eat the slow. And we're pretty fast.
So
and
maybe
Michael,
it was an advantage being David.
I think so. We definitely believe that. We like being nimble. We like being small. We like being able to just sit in a room over coffee, lunch, or a beer and make a decision. And we don't have to go to a board of directors. We are the board of directors. And if it makes good sense to us, if it makes good sense to Sacramento, we do it.
Yeah. Well, thinking about these stories, right? If I'm driving down the road and I see an ad, recently I saw something about a Sac State ad where, and I don't know if that was one of your billboards or not, but somebody had posted it on social media. It was a Sac State ad, and it had the guy that made the new movie, the Black Panther, right? And he was promoting Sac State. I think it might have been a Sac State billboard. But on yours, you're driving down the freeway at 50, 60 miles an hour. I mean, how much time do you have to share your message?
Well, that's a great question. And a lot of people ask that, and people are concerned about that sometimes with the digital billboard and having 8 ads. An ad comes up every 8 seconds. It's a static ad, not a moving ad, of course, because that's against the law. But in Sacramento freeways and other major metropolitan areas, if you're on Business 80 around Hagen Oaks, if you're, just imagine, I-5 and I Street, I-5 and J Street, you're at that on-ramp getting on the bridge to go on I-5, it's bumper-to-bumper traffic. Yeah. Sometimes you have a couple minutes of dwell time. Generally speaking, people are seeing 3 ads in a cycle, but in commuter time, they're seeing all 8 ads.
Wow.
So you can tell a story.
So how do you tell the story, though? Because it's a picture. How do you capture a moment with one shot, with one photo?
Well, that's another great question, and that is really a creative question. The content is king when it comes to that. We have great locations, and Michael built great signs, beautiful signs, close to the freeway, best positions in the market. We don't have as many as everybody else, but we do strongly believe they're the best. So some of the things we've done, whether it's an ad for a movie that we get provided for, whether it's Jumanji or whether it's the 1517 to Paris, Clint Eastwood movie about the Sacramento heroes. We had that advertised here, and you run it with enough repetition where people will see it over a week period or a 30-day period. One we're particularly fond of, and we just did it because we liked the movie, we felt it made sense for Sacramento, and Greta Gerwig is a Sacramento hero, we think. We ran a lot of ads for her, touting things. Originally, congratulations on your 5 Golden Globes nominations. Then it was, key Hollywood figures feel Greta Gerwig is deserving of an Oscar nomination. Well, guess what? She got 5.
Yes.
Unfortunately, she didn't win, but she's still a hero. She still helps put Sacramento on the map, and she was only the 5th woman nominated for an Oscar. So our local team created those ads, and it was the last one we've got running still to this day. I don't know when it's going to go dark, but we're running one. Sacramento. It's got a picture of the actress, and it says "Sacramento proud, thank you, Lady Bird." That's just a right message. And, we ran one, you opened the segment up with Russ Solomon's passing. That was sad to us, too. I had the good fortune to meet him in August, and my kids got to meet him, and they talked about record stores. And I could almost get choked up about talking about him because he was an amazing guy.
He was.
We ran some boards that are running right now just to memorialize him because he's a Sacramento legend. And to me, he was one of the first great entrepreneurs of Sacramento, if not the country.
You bet. He had video stores, and part of my story is I had a number of video stores as well. So we shared customers at times and competed against one another, but I always had the utmost respect for Tower Records and Russ Solomon. But thinking about going down in history like a Russ Solomon, talk to us about what the future looks like for you, Michael, and Marquee Media.
Well, we want to stay focused as a California company. We want to stay focused as a Sacramento company first, but we are looking at expansion opportunities in key California cities. We just want to do the right thing. We want to, there's so much data with marketing now. Everybody is data heavy. We need this data point. We need that data point. We want this metric. We still feel that people matter, that you have to have, it's not so much a handshake agreement, but you want to believe in the people you're doing business with. We're the owners, operators. We aren't always going to be the lowest priced media out there. We're not Walmart. We're not Gucci, but we're somewhere in the middle. And when somebody buys us, we like to get their ads up ahead of time at no extra charge. We like to run them longer at no extra charge. If we've got extra space, we'll run them on some extra space. And that's not really a trade secret that we're giving away. We just do it. And we try to follow up with people. So Christian and Josh, for example, we just got some artwork today for a telecom client to run at Golden One Center. It came in last night. It's up this morning. We get stuff that these guys program at 10 o'clock at night. Generally speaking, the big companies don't do that. And it's not that they won't. They're just big companies, and they're not as, nimble. And we care an awful lot, and we have to make our mark that way.
Well, I want to thank you for the alliance with Marquee Media. Jeff, I want to thank you for coming on the show, bringing Michael on. We'll make sure we get him on the next time you guys come on, but also for what you're doing and your commitment to Sacramento and what you're doing here to grow entrepreneurship right here in our region. So thanks for coming up on the show. When we come back, we're going to have Mito Eldon. He's marketing man here over at HaneyBiz. He is the guy that helps me determine how to tell a story, how to tell stories with our friends here in the world of entrepreneurship. He is with the HaneyBiz Media Company. Join the revolution at HaneyBiz.com, courtesy of the Entrepreneurs Organization of Sacramento and law firm Greenberg Traurig. This is the HaneyBiz Project.